lot of you guys thought I was talking about this way too early, but I guess I was in the right because it's actually seemingly happening. Hey, what's up everyone, it's me, SpeedSuperSonic, guys, another video. In this video today, that is right, we are back again talking about Sonic the Hedgehog and an upcoming project, but not something that has already been announced. We are here talking about a new inside report, which is always very, very exciting because it's a little scary, it's a little intimidating. Is it happening? Is it not happening? It's always a matter of having to wait and see, but what makes it the more exciting part is the fact that it's coming from a reliable source, because today, reliable Sonic insider, I'm just going to call him now DanielRPK, has posted something brand new on his Patreon. And I want to clarify a little bit more about DanielRPK for those who are like a little hesitant about him. He's gotten every single thing right about Sonic Movie 3. Everything that he has said about that movie has come true. A lot of stuff that hasn't been verified yet is not about Sonic Movie 3. That's about upcoming projects and future plans with Paramount Sonic. He let us know that Sonic Frontiers 2 is in development, which was corroborated by a lot of other people. And now he is here with another report, but it's not about either of those projects. Not about Frontiers 2. It's not about Sonic Movie 3 or any Sonic Movie 4 stuff or some future Sonic Movie TV shows. No. We are talking about a Sonic TV show, but not in relation to the Sonic movies. That's right, you heard me. Let's read exactly what he has to say. A new Sonic animated show is in development. No a sequel to Prime, but a new thing. Of course, he meant to say not a sequel to Prime, but a new thing. So that's all we really need here right now and to go off of. That sentence alone is not only left to get excited for, but also there's a lot to take away from it. I know I already talked about it a little, but I want to get it out of the way. I'm going to choose to believe this. DanielRPK, when it comes to Sonic and a lot of other things I want to clarify as well, report about the tagline for Sonic Movie 3 being "This Ends Now" has recently been verified, I think just as early as yesterday, when some Sonic Movie 3 merchandise leaked that is going to be popping up in movie theaters like Cinemark and AMC, where that tagline can be seen. He let us know about that in August, I think, and this is the first time we've seen anything publicly about that, so that's big. And you guys know that I have talked about a new Sonic the Hedgehog TV show, when we could see one, what it could be, when we could potentially hear about it, and a lot of people are saying it's too early. Sonic Prime literally ended this year, which, yes, that is really early to start already talking about a new animated series, but I think it's an important conversation to have because I think Sega and Sonic, like, they understand that it is essential for Sonic to be a part of television, for there to be a Sonic show on the air. And while I think Prime overall was, yes, incredibly successful, if you just simply look at the numbers and the overall critic response to it, it did very well. Unfortunately though, I think a lot of audiences, particularly in the Sonic fan base, were split on it. Sonic Prime has a very harsh reputation with fans currently. I don't think that did exactly what they wanted for the Sonic brand. I think they wanted something more universally accepted. Even though I mostly enjoyed Prime, I think a lot of people, most people would agree that Season 3 really fell flat. And I think a lot of that, when it comes to Season 3 and why that flopped so hard, can be attributed to how the show was released. The show was essentially just one giant season, but split into 3. I think the show just would have worked better on a cable network, but with cable dying, that was never gonna happen. Netflix probably was offering a big bag for the show. They wanted it, they paid a lot of money, and then it was released that way. So regardless though, it still, I think, was an overall success for the Sonic brand, for Sega, for Netflix, etc. And that a new Sonic show was going to be inevitable. I mean, if Sonic Boom didn't like kill off the future of Sonic TV, Prime isn't gonna scare anybody off. It did great. Merchandise is still popping up in stores. In fact, I have a video planned about Sonic Prime merchandise soon. But if I'm being completely honest, I didn't think that they were already gonna get like behind the gridiron this fast to get started on a new one. And of course, looping back real quick to Prime, it is stated that it is not a sequel to Prime, meaning that it's not gonna be a follow-up or continuation. It's gonna be something completely different. So you know what that means? We can start speculating. What is this show going to be like? What is it going to be about? Where is it going to come from? Let's talk about that. Firstly, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is not going to be heading to Netflix. I think because of Netflix's such close ties to Sonic Prime and Sega's close relationship with them when it was coming to making that show, I don't think they're gonna go anywhere close to that again. Meaning, I don't think it's gonna be Netflix, I don't think Man of Action's gonna work on it, Wild Brain potentially. I think this could be heading to somewhere like Nickelodeon / Paramount Plus. I know that doesn't sound like as, you know, big as Netflix. You know, Netflix is a much larger service where a lot more eyes are going to be on it. I think that is the more desired place you want to be if you're a show of any kind really right now, especially if you have Netflix's backing. That's big. But with this connection between Sega and Paramount growing more and more with how successful this other branch of the Sonic franchise has been, we know which one, then there might be more incentive for them to work together more. Also, Paramount does have a streaming service, like I mentioned, Paramount Plus, and a cable network, so you're kind of able to double that up a bit. And with Sonic already having a somewhat presence on Nickelodeon right now, mainly of course with promotion for the Sonic movies and the Sonic movie I think airing on there from time to time, and other stuff like that. I think that could be very big, that very cool. But you never know, there's always other services it could head to. I think streaming is going to have some kind of play in here, meaning it could go to Max, Amazon Prime. I think Disney Plus is a little out of the realm of possibility. Sega and Disney don't seem to have any kind of working relationship right now in regards to anything, so I think that's a little far-fetched, out of the window. I don't really see that happening. In fact, even when I was saying Max and like Prime Video, those even seem a little far-fetched. Like, in terms of realistic options, I could really see it being Nickelodeon / Paramount Plus. Apple TV Plus could always be a dark horse contender to get into the mix. Or maybe this is all just a dumb conversation because maybe Sega is just gonna go right to Netflix again and they'll be working together on a new Sonic series just attached from the creative team behind Sonic Prime. That would be something I would not be opposed to. Not really them not working with the Prime creative team, because there was a lot of potential there and there was a lot of good that came from Prime. I think we all would have liked to see a continuation of Sonic's adventures, like in a more linear format with the main cast on Sonic's world. That's just something we're obviously not going to be getting though. Another prediction, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this new Sonic show is going to be 2D animated. I'm just gonna say it. We just got 2 3D animated Sonic shows in a row. It's been what, Sonic X ended in 2006, and we're going to be going probably into 2026 when this releases. So probably by the time this series releases, like its first episode, Sonic wouldn't have had a 2D animated Sonic show on the air in 20 years. And that's me being generous with Sonic X releasing in 2003. So it's been over 20 years since we've seen a Sonic 2D animated series on the air. I definitely think it's time. Fans really want it. I think the animation has to be good. I think that's a big reason why people want it. A lot of people are like, oh, 2D animation, 2D animation. There's a lot of bad 2D animation out there. So if they're able to find the right team, get the right people in charge of it, I think that'd be very cool. I think we all really do want to see a 2D animated Sonic series. I wouldn't really complain with any animation style. I like 3D animation, I like 2D animation, so I don't really care which one it is. I would like 2D animation. I think that'd be very cool. I try to do my best at predicting and guessing exactly what's going to happen, but part of me is just wanting to gush about what I would like to see. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I just would personally like to see a show based in kind of the world of IDW. This is something I've been wanting to see for so long. The IDW comics are so well received by fans and critics and everybody. Everybody loves them, and for comic books they sell very well. There's a big fan base behind them. There's a large chunk of this community that really values that side of the Sonic franchise, and for the longest time before the movies came along, that was really one of the only things fans were able to cling on to, was a good aspect of the franchise, and I think it really deserves that next expansion into the world of animation with characters like Tangle, Whisper, Dr. Starlight, all of these different original IDW characters which have slowly become more canonized in the games with Frontiers and stuff, given more life, meaning we don't know what these characters sound like. Giving them voices, more even defined personalities outside of the pages that we read is going to be very exciting if they're able to do that. I don't know what the right situation would be like with IDW. Maybe IDW could get involved with the show. I have no clue, but I think that's something that everybody would really love to see. It's something I would really want to push for. That's something I would love, and especially with all those new characters, boom, merchandising opportunities. We see how hesitant Sega is to like kind of include the characters in canon, with them just getting references right now and stuff like that. This could be a really good way of testing if these guys work and resonate with fans, so we'll see if they're able to pull that off. That's what I'm gonna be hoping for, but of course there's no promise of that happening, so if it's not the case, I hope you guys aren't disappointed. I won't be disappointed. But regardless though, the prospect of a new Sonic show is very important. Like I said, I think it's essential for Sonic to be on TV at all times. If you need a little bit of a break in between, that is of course okay, but I would have ideally liked to see Sonic back on TV in 2025, where it's looking a little drier than usual. That Sonic Central really didn't do any help in assuring fans that 2025 is going to be jam-packed with Sonic, outside of DC comic tie-ins. Like, yeah, that's cool, but need a little more than that. I'm sure there'll be more stuff. Hopefully there's going to be like a new game or something to tide us over, but TV is so important. It's so essential. It's new stories, it's new ways of interacting with the franchise, which ideally I would like to be on a weekly basis, but it just seemingly is not the way people like to release shows anymore. I really wish all streaming services would take after the Disney Plus format, where you release weekly, maybe do a 2-episode premiere, which is like, yeah, I'd ideally like to see the Sonic show on Disney Plus. I just don't think that's gonna happen. For that reason alone of keeping up with the Sonic show from week to week and having something to talk about every week with the franchise. So it's just very nice to hear that it is in development, it is happening, and you guys know as soon as we hear any other reports, leaks, we're gonna talk about it, and the minute it's announced, you know we're gonna be here talking about it because, well, we talked about it first. But this is where I pass it off to you and ask what you think about a new Sonic Sonic animated series being in development. What do you want to see from it? What do you hope to see from it? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you guys have to say. Feel free to follow my social media links on my Twitter and Instagram in the description below. You can follow those my things on my life for checking and all things Sonic the Hedgehog. But most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed to the number one station on YouTube for all things Sonic, whether it's video games, TV shows, movies, comics, merchandise, and more. We talk about it all. And not just that, if you're looking forward to support channel, you can become a channel member and join our Patreon. But guys, we have so much to talk about with Sonic. Sonic Movie 3 stuff is going to start heating up. We have a lot of original videos coming to you as well, and a lot more stuff like this, where there's new reports about the future of Sonic that you guys might not know about, and to be the first, like this, to hear about all of it, this is the spot to be. I love all of you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
And be right by the motherfucking seaside, dog. Everything I see, I got a dream. I thought these leaves would go and take me out the dark. I know everything I wanted to far away.